Cover Journal starting now. Your weekly news with Nori Jones, international reporter.
We're kicking off today's deep dive with something pretty significant. The sheer number of cats sharing our planet and, well, our homes has just exploded. And it's not just, a slight uptick. We're talking about a massive worldwide increase in cat ownership.
Really noticeable.
Think about this.
Yeah.
The U.S. leads with roughly 74 million pet cats. China's next, 53 million. Then Russia with 23 million.
Huge number.
And right here in the States, nearly 46.5 million households now have at least one cat.
Wow.
What's really interesting, I think, is that the lead dogs have always had it's shrinking.
Yeah.
Especially among millennials and Gen Z.
It truly is a notable cultural shift, yeah. And it has ripple effects, definitely. For this deep dive, we've pulled together the latest, global feline news and research updates. We want to bring you a comprehensive look at the really important developments in the cat world.
Okay.
Our aim is to give you a clear, engaging understanding of what's happening. It covers quite a range.
Like what specifically?
Oh, everything from fascinating health discoveries to environmental impacts, even glimpses into their ancient past.
Okay, so it's clearly not just about more purrs on the couch then. What are the sort of bigger picture implications of this boom?
Well, one of the most significant is the growing focus on feline veterinary medicine. Historically, research, resources, they often prioritize dogs' canine health.
Right, that makes sense.
But with the surge in cat ownership, we're seeing a much-needed shift, more specialized clinics, more advanced treatments, and just generally a greater focus on understanding cat-specific ailments.
And it's not just the medical side driving things, is it? Seems like how we care for them is changing, and that costs money.
Absolutely. As cats become more, integrated into our lives, owners are definitely investing more in their well-being.
How so?
Things like premium nutrition, food tailored to specific needs, rising adoption of pet insurance to handle healthcare costs.
Yeah, insurance is big now.
And a growing market for all sorts of wellness products, services, you name it. We're looking at annual spending ranging from around $961 up to, over $2,400 per cat in some cases.
That's quite an investment.
It is. It's significant economic activity, and it really underscores the value we place on these animals. Yet, and this is crucial, our sources highlight that dedicated research into cat health still hasn't quite caught up with dog studies.
Oh, okay.
That gap, it's something we'll actually see addressed in some of the breakthroughs we're going to talk about.
Right, let's get into those health headlines then. There's some pretty important news about a virus. Sounds quite serious.
Yes, a really significant scientific discovery. Researchers have identified a novel hepatitis B-like virus in domestic cats, and importantly, they've established a direct link between this virus and chronic hepatitis, which can then lead to hepatocellular carcinoma.
Which is liver cancer.
The most common type of liver cancer in cats? Yes. This is work from Texas A&M University collaborating with City University of Hong Kong. It's a crucial step because it's the first time such a definitive connection has been made.
Okay, first time. So what does this mean for cat owners and vets, like, right now?
Well, what's particularly noteworthy and maybe a bit worrying is that unlike Hep B in humans, there isn't currently a vaccine.
No vaccine.
No. Or any targeted treatment available for this specific virus in cats.
Okay.
So that makes vigilance, early detection even more critical. Vets are now being advised to monitor cats really carefully if they show up with unexplained liver issues.
Looking for signs of this virus.
Exactly. And researchers are using sophisticated genetic sequencing, really digging into the virus's origins, trying to understand how it triggers cancer at the molecular level.
Right.
And this also raises some interesting questions like, could this virus jump to other species?
Good question.
And what about environmental factors? Could they play a role in how it spreads among cats? So while the discovery is huge for understanding the cause, there are still many unknowns. And a pressing need for better diagnostic tools and, hopefully, a vaccine down the line.
Definitely something for owners and vets to be aware of. Okay, shifting focus a bit, but staying with potential health threats. We also learned about microplastics in a really unexpected place.
Indeed. Quite a concerning study revealed the presence of, get this, 19 different types of microplastic particles.
19. Wow. Where?
In the placentas and actual fetuses of pregnant cats.
Oh, wow.
And what's really alarming is this wasn't just, city cats. It was detected in cats from rural areas, too.
Rural as well.
The types of plastics found included common packaging materials, synthetic fibers from fabrics, things like that.
That's quite disturbing. We hear about microplastics in the ocean, but finding them in unborn kittens, what are the implications?
They're profound, really. First, it just shows how incredibly pervasive this pollution is. It's not just out there in the environment.
It's getting inside.
Exactly. It's entering biological systems, crossing placental barriers, reaching developing offspring, and that's fundamental. Second, the potential long-term health effects of this exposure. Well, they're largely unknown.
We just don't know yet.
We don't. Researchers worry about impacts on fetal development, immune systems, overall long-term health. And because cats share our homes, sometimes roam outside, they might be acting as sentinels.
Like canaries in a coal mine.
Sort of, indicating the level of microplastic exposure humans might also be facing. It really ramps up the urgency for better plastic waste management and regulation.
Yeah, it really does. Okay, well, on a brighter note, our sources also point to some really promising developments. In medicine and science, tell us about these pioneering advances.
Yes, one particularly exciting area is the successful development of techniques to generate high-quality embryonic stem cells.
Yeah.
And they're getting them from reproductive tissues that are normally just discarded after spay and neuter surgeries.
From routine procedures.
Exactly. This seemingly simple source material holds, well, incredible potential for advancing cat health.
That sounds fascinating. How exactly could these stem cells be used? What's the potential?
Well, think of embryonic stem cells like master cells. They can transform into any other type of cell in the body.
Right, the pluripotent aspect.
Precisely. So that opens up a huge array of possibilities for feline medicine. Researchers can use them to study genetic diseases in cats, test new drugs for safety and effectiveness, and maybe most excitingly, for regenerative medicine. The potential to grow healthy replacement tissues, maybe even organs someday.
Wow. For what kind of conditions?
For cats suffering from chronic issues like kidney disease, which is so common, or heart disease, neurological disorders, this could lead to entirely new treatments where options are currently limited.
Game-changing, potentially.
Yeah. Potentially, yes. And there's also a conservation angle, potentially applying these techniques to help endangered wildcat species, too.
That's truly groundbreaking. Okay, moving from cutting-edge cell biology to, well, something literally from the Ice Age. Our deep dive also uncovered an incredible find from the past.
Absolutely. Can you imagine finding a perfectly preserved saber-toothed kitten, estimated to be around 37,000 years old?
Perfectly preserved.
Found in the Siberian permafrost. And not just bones, we're talking remarkably intact soft tissues, internal organs, even the contents of its stomach.
Unbelievable. What species was it?
Homotherium latidens. It's just an unprecedented opportunity to study these ancient predators up close.
So what kind of insights can researchers actually get from a find like that? That sounds amazing.
What's so remarkable is the sheer level of detail they can now access. Scientists are using advanced imaging like CT scans and sophisticated DNA analysis. They can reconstruct the kitten's physical development, compare its anatomy to modern big cats. They can learn about its diet, how it adapted to the harsh Ice Age conditions. It's really helping fill gaps in our understanding of feline evolution.
And maybe why saber-tooths went extinct.
Exactly. Helps piece together that puzzle, too. It's like a tangible link to a very, very distant past.
Incredible. Okay, bringing us back to the present day and the sometimes tricky relationship between cats and the environment. Our sources also highlighted the impact of feral cats.
Yes, a comprehensive study, this one from Australia, provided definitive DNA evidence. It confirms feral cats are a major threat to native wildlife survival.
How definitive are we talking?
Very. It includes species that are part of crucial reintroduction programs trying to boost their numbers in conservation areas. The research clearly shows feral cats are a leading driver of biodiversity loss in those fragile ecosystems.
This is often a really sensitive topic, isn't it? Trying to balance compassion for cats with protecting native species.
It certainly is. And these findings have intensified the ongoing debates about the best ways to manage feral cat populations, humanely and effectively.
What are the options discussed?
Well, conservationists often push for a mix of strategies. Targeted trapping, removal, large-scale sterilization programs, using tracking tech to monitor their impact.
But those raise ethical questions.
They do, often complex ethical considerations about animal welfare, which really brings it back to the responsibility of pet owners.
How so?
To make sure their own cats don't contribute to the problem, keeping them indoors or maybe in secure outdoor spaces like catios. It's a tough global challenge, really. Similar issues pop up worldwide.
Right. Okay. Shifting from those broader ecological issues to more immediate dangers for individual pet cats. A UK study highlighted a surprisingly common cause of, well, premature death.
Sadly, yes. That research showed that road traffic accidents are a leading cause of death for cats under 9 years old in the UK.
Under 9? That's young.
Very. Nearly half the deaths in that age group were due to collisions with vehicles. And this has led to a significant campaign pushing for mandatory reporting of cat road deaths, similar to what's already required for dogs.
That seems like a logical step, just to understand the scale of it. The study also pointed to other major health concerns too, didn't it?
It did, yeah. The researchers also emphasized the huge impact of chronic diseases, especially kidney disease and heart disease, on cat mortality overall.
Which we know are common.
Exactly. They stressed how important early detection and proactive management are, recommending regular vet checkups, obviously, but also adopting newer, more sensitive diagnostic tools to catch these things early when intervention can really make a difference.
Makes sense. Okay, on a more heartwarming note, it seems our understanding of cats as therapy animals is also growing.
Absolutely. There's emerging research really recognizing the unique ways cats can be effective therapy animals, often complementing or differing from the roles dogs usually fill.
What makes them suitable?
Researchers have identified specific traits. Things like their inherent sociability may be surprising to some, their tendency to actively seek attention, and their calm tolerance of handling. These make them particularly well-suited for therapeutic interactions.
So does this mean we might actually see more cats in places like hospitals or nursing homes?
That's certainly a growing possibility, yes. Therapy cats can provide real comfort, reduce anxiety in lots of different settings, and there's a growing push to develop standardized training and certification programs to help get them used more widely in animal-assisted therapy.
Interesting.
It's really a recognition of that powerful bond we can form with cats and the positive influence they can have on our emotional, even physical well-being.
And speaking of well-being, the world of cat food and nutrition, that seems to be constantly changing too. What's new there?
You're right. It's a very dynamic field. Scientific advances, plus what consumers want, are always shaping feline nutrition. We're seeing a big trend towards specialized diets, foods formulated for specific health conditions.
Like kidney diets, urinary diets.
Exactly. And also the inclusion of functional ingredients, things like probiotics, omega-3 fatty acids, becoming much more common in premium cat foods.
But I imagine all these advanced options, these specialized foods, they likely come with a higher price tag.
They often do, yes. The increase in cost of these diets, plus rising vet care expenses generally. It's a definite factor for many owners.
Right.
And it's probably contributing to why pet insurance is getting more popular as a way to manage those costs. Nutrition experts really stress consulting with your vet, though, to figure out the best diet for your individual cat's needs.
Personalized nutrition.
Exactly. And also staying aware of potential environmental contaminants that could affect pet food safety. That's another layer.
Right, good point. You know, one recurring theme through all these updates seems to be this critical need for more research, specifically focused on cats, on feline health.
That's an absolutely vital point, yes. Despite the huge increase in cat ownership, despite recognizing how important they are in our lives, the level of dedicated research into cat health still lags, really considerably, behind dog health research.
Still playing catch-up.
Very much so. And vets, animal welfare groups, they're advocating strongly for more investment in this area. It's crucial.
Are there any positive signs? Is that research gap starting to close at all?
Encouragingly, yes, there are signs. We are seeing newly funded research initiatives. Organizations like the Morris Animal Foundation, for example, are supporting projects specifically targeting major cat health issues.
Like what?
Things like heart disease, kidney disease, lymphoma, UTIs, common problems. There's also ongoing work on better diagnostic techniques, deeper understanding of feline genetics through mapping.
Okay.
And events like the Every Cat and Sea State Feline Health Symposium are vital. They bring experts together, share knowledge, set research priorities. It's a much-needed push towards ensuring cats get the same level of medical progress dogs have benefited from.
That's good to hear. Okay, before we wrap up, our bonus bite section had a few other noteworthy things happening.
Yes, just a few quick ones. Reports of a concerning number of sort of unexplained cat disappearances in one area of Wales' Newtown, Powys. Authorities are advising extra caution there.
Strange.
In the UK, shelters are reporting a big influx of abandoned kittens, a real kitten surge, putting a huge strain on their resources. Urgent appeals for foster homes are out.
Always guff.
But on a more positive note, a great story from Brazil. The successful reintroduction of a rare jaguar cub named Zamam back into the wild shows what dedicated conservation for big cats can achieve.
That's wonderful. So as we've explored, I mean, the world of cats in 2025 is anything but dull.
Not at all.
It's just this vibrant, evolving landscape. Significant developments across health, history, their environmental impact, and, well, the bond they share with us.
Indeed. And when you think about the rapid progress in feline medicine, our growing appreciation for their complex needs, it really prompts some fascinating questions, doesn't it?
Like?
Well, for instance, what might the human-cat relationship even look like, say, 37,000 years from now? Bit mind-bending, but interesting.
Huh? Yeah, hard to imagine.
Or maybe more immediately, given those concerning findings about microplastics. What meaningful actions can each of us take, today? Actions that could positively impact the health of our cats? And maybe our own health in the process.
Right. Complex issues, definitely things to think about further. Thanks for helping us dive into all that today.
My pleasure. Lots happening in the feline world.